Good Friday. I know it's 9:03, but you know how technology is, and it is not always on our side. But I want to thank you for joining us tonight for Iyanla's Fixins. And tonight we've got an open mic, so to speak. Anything you want to ask me about anything, about you, about me, about life, the world, pets, food, particularly about food, we're going to deal with that tonight. And we've got some guests coming in. So this is just the Ask Iyanla night. I thought it would be a good idea to do that since so many people stop me in so many places to ask me so many questions. I told them, come to the Google Hangout, and we're doing Iyanla's Fixins, and you can ask me anything you want to. So that's what we're doing. Way also for us to connect, for us to have a real intimate time together. And every single week that you join me, I'm just so grateful that we get an opportunity to talk to each other, particularly about issues that are coming forward on Iyanla Fix My Life. And I sure hope that all of you are viewers of Iyanla Fix My Life, Saturday night, 9 p.m. on the Oprah Winfrey Network or OWN. Check your local listings or go to Oprah.com so that you can find it in your area. Last week, we did a show on a husband who's been holding back some information from his wife, or having some difficulty, and really wanted to move out of the marriage and have courage to tell her. We together on that. What happens when there's a that just is no longer willing to work with, be with, sleep with the other partner. Very interesting show. And the one thing that I hope you get from Iyanla Fix My Life and our Fixins hangouts together, that we're all dealing with something. Everybody is dealing with something. And if we can give support and encouragement and information, tools and skills to help us get through these things, I think we'll all be better for it. So know that your question and the answer you receive is helping someone else. So don't be shy. Ask a question. Here's what we're going to do. If we don't get to your question tonight, because we have been overwhelmed with questions, I've been getting them all week long. If I don't get to your question tonight, you can send it to Iyanla Fixins, Iyanla, no S, Fixins, Fixins. Yes, that's for grammar, at Iyanla.com. Send them to us there. I'm going to try to get through as many as I can tonight. I'm even going to record an answer for later in the week, so your question may be one of those that I choose. But there's only one of me, and so far there are 1,143. I'm going to do Iyanla Fixins at Iyanla.com. Send me your question there. You can cut and paste the one you can. So we're going to get started. We're going to get right in. I see some questions on the board. I love that my first question on the board is a man. My name is John. My question is, how do you communicate to a woman that doesn't know how to communicate without receiving consequences of what I am exactly trying to say? Okay, let me see. John, that's a little rough there. How do you communicate with someone who has poor communication skills, who misunderstands what you say, and then you get the consequences because of misunderstanding? That's the one thing. You know, there are elements to communication, okay? The speaking, the listening, and the hearing. Let me put it another way. 3 elements: the speaking, the hearing, and the listening. Let me make the distinction. Sound is coming across to you, and you hear it. That means the sound hits your ear, it goes in, your brain interprets it, and you hear the sound. But the third element that many people forget about, don't even know about, is the listening. And the listening is what is going on inside of you that you filter through what you hear. So somebody says, why are you doing that? You hear that, but your listening is you, challenging you, making up something about you. So your listening is that internal filter that all sound goes through. So how do you communicate with a person who has poor communication skills? Was it speaking poor, hearing poor, or is there listening poor? Very often, when you find yourself being misunderstood by someone, here's a very simple question. Tell me what you heard me say. Now, they may not repeat it back to you verbatim. What they're going to tell you is what they heard based on their listening. So, John, it sounds to me that this woman, I don't know if it's your girlfriend or your sister, your mother or friend, has a listening of you that doesn't allow her to hear what you're saying. So here's a question for you. What is the upset between you and this woman that needs to be cleared? There's an upset. There's something she's withholding that she hasn't talked to you about or said to you. So whenever you speak to her, her listening is, he getting on my nerves, he should have done this, I'm so pissed off, I'm d. Her listening. Not your speaking, not her hearing, but why is she so upset with you? How about that? Now that isn't that interesting? I bet people didn't know that there are three elements to communication: the listening and the hearing. Because hearing we can all do if we have hearing aid. The listening is so important. Let me go to another question. We met at the Baltimore Book Festival after your talk. I got this. I got this earlier. I had a very large tumor on my face. I am left. He had the surgery. I encouraged you to have the surgery, and you said you're left with a very large scar on my face. I would love to date and find love. But when I run into people, they look at me and literally run the other way. Wow. Rude people. Bad behavior. Bad behavior. This is what I can tell you, beloved. I want you to clear all of your issues, challenges, commentary, judgments, criticisms, upset about the scar in your face. You have to clear that. You can't be holding anything in. This scar is horrible. I know I look ugly. This is terrible. Did you have love when you had the tumor? No. So now you have a scar. Plenty of people have scars on their face. Plenty of people have scars on their face. Plenty of people are blind. Plenty of people are handicapped. Some people have no arms, no legs. They find love. What's blocking you from finding love is your conversation, your internal conversation about what you look like and what that scar is about. I want you to clear that. I want you to heal that. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to a website called How to Tap, HOWTOTAP. And I want you to find a video there about tapping out your negative self-talk. It's a spiritual technology. It's a healing tool that we use to clear negative communication. So I want you to tap this scar, this scar. I'm so ashamed of this scar. I'm so ashamed of this scar. This scar makes me ugly. This scar makes me unattractive. I want you to start moving out of your body. Oh, we got a little technical thing going on. Are we good? Okay, we're good. See, you can't marry the technical. But anyway, Jaza Jahazil. Jahazil. Jahazil, I do remember you. Yes, I do remember you. Yeah. I want you to tap it out. You got to move out that negative self-talk about that scar. Because beloved, there is somebody out there, some hot mama out there who is living every day, breathing heavily, waiting for you. okay. And she is really not going to care that you got a scar on your face. So, how to tap the website, Karen Davidson. Find a video about removing negative self-talk. That's for you, and that's for anybody else out there. All right. So for those of you who are just joining us, I am Iyanla Van Zandt. This is Iyanla's Fixins. If you've got a question for me, you can send it to Iyanla, not with an S, Iyanla Fixins, Fixins @Iyanla.com. We're going to try to get to as many questions as possible, but we're also going to get to our guests because I have guests. Yay! And I'm so excited. And we have tonight a couple. How many of you out there would like to see a couple resolve an issue? Now, they're here with us this evening. They are, let me get their names so that I can be clear. Their names are William and his wife. Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Does wife have a name?
Zakia. Sorry.
Zakia. You did say my wife, Zakia. Forgive me. And y'all have been married for 10 years. Wow.
Tomorrow.
And you've got a 10-month-old boy and a 7-year-old girl. Zakia, you were 7, man. You were free and clear. What you do that for? You didn't have no more diapers.
I know. I said, why do we do this to ourselves again?
You wanted a boy, right?
Yeah. A boy, another one.
Well, God bless you. Thank you for joining us. William, I really want to acknowledge you as a man to be willing to come out publicly, to speak publicly about a challenge in your relationship. Good for you. Thank you. So who wants to tell me what's going on?
I'll let her.
You wrote me, William.
Right. Okay.
You tell me.
We've been together for 14 years, married for 10. And I wasn't mature enough when I proposed, and I didn't really have enough experience with life. And we basically grew up together. But I've kind of fallen behind, and I'm not catching up to my wife, and we're trying to move forward together. And it's hard for us to move forward if I keep dragging the family back and down. So I got poor communication skills. I have a lizard brain, and
what does that mean? I read that. What's a lizard brain?
Well, when I was going into therapy, it's sort of a fight or flight. Lizard brain is, whatever bad habits you develop as a child to survive. Those things affect the way you communicate and react as an adult. So it's just like a knee-jerk reaction. Exaggerating, not telling full truths as a way of protecting myself is like a reactionary survival habit that I developed from growing up as a child. So my wife can tell when I'm lying, so it's like, she'll be like, hey, did you do this? And it'd be knee-jerk reaction, and wouldn't give her the full truth, and then because I didn't tell the truth right away, she catches it, and then we blow up. And then I'm coming into the marriage with kind of anger towards men in general. That was my baggage because I think I'm dealing with my parents divorced at a young age. There was abandonment issues. There was boyfriends, and I didn't have any examples of. It was always women taking care of men, and I vowed and kind of lived my life to not end up that way. And so when I met him, because I kind of grew faster than him and matured faster than him, and I had more life experiences than him, so I was able to adapt better to be an adult than him. I felt like even though I tried to escape that cycle, I got back into it, and so he became all the men that I was angry at. So every time he did something, it wasn't just him doing it, it was I'm being victimized by men. So that was and it's just caused a lot of explosions and whatever. And
And then the poor communication between his poor communication with me has also caused problems too, with misunderstandings. And
So, William, if I had to ask you for a simple sentence that explains your understanding of
Right.
what's going on in your relationship with Zakia, a simple sentence, 20 words or less, what would you say? What's
Um,
going on? What's going on between me and Zakia is, start there.
what's going on between me and Zakia is that I don't do all the things I'm supposed to do, and I don't do what I'm saying I'm going to do. Well, I don't do what I'm going to say I'm going to do, and I don't do it the way I say I'm going to do it. Did that come out right? No.
Yes, yes. Okay. William, what is your birth order? Are you a middle child, a
I'm,
baby,
I'm the only child.
the only child? Okay. Zakia, if I
Mhm.
had to ask you for a 20-word sentence that explains what's going on between you and William, I forgot to cut my phone off. So now everybody freaks out because my phone is ringing. Okay. And yes, that was 8 Mile by email. I will cut it off. If I had
Okay.
to ask you, Zakia, for a simple sentence that explains what's going on between you and William, what would you say? What's going on between William and I is.
What's going on between William and I is two people from dysfunctional backgrounds trying to fight the tide and make life work. And it's like not oil and water, but two nuclear bombs just exploding.
Do me a favor, Zakia. I want you to turn so that you can see William. Don't worry about looking at me. I want you to turn so that you can see William. Can you see him?
Yes,
Zakia, do you love William?
I love William to death.
William, do you love Zakia?
With all my heart.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So let me tell, can I just share with you what I heard? Because first of all, y'all have been together for 14 years.
Yes.
Okay. So something, and you got a 7-month-old baby. Okay, let us not forget that. But in your hearing, remember, I don't know if you were on air. I said there was a hearing, a speaking, a hearing, and a listening.
Right.
And in your speaking, what I hear is that neither one of you has a fully developed identity.
Right.
When I ask William what's going on between him, you, and he says, I don't do what she wants me to do, and blah, 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 blah. And when I asked you what's going on between the two of you, you immediately went to two dysfunctional people. Two dysfunctional people don't hang in for 14 years. You understand? Know that there's an issue and are still willing to move forward. But
Right.
you both do have a very deep pathology. You coming from a pathology of women taking care of men, women being angry at men, women really not developing fully in themselves. And William, what I hear in your pathology is that you can't do it right, you haven't done it right, something's wrong, and that's your starting point. Does that sound familiar to you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So really, I want to put you all on a 90-day, no complaint, no criticism, no correction plan. I know that's going to be hard.
No complaints.
For no 90 days, neither one of you can complain about yourself or the other one.
Right.
Neither one of you can criticize yourself or the other one. And neither one of you can um, What was the other one? No complaint. My brain is running so fast. But no complaint, no criticism, and let's just do those two. Now tomorrow I want you to get a jar. And every time you complain about him or her, about yourself, what you didn't do, what you can't do, what you're not doing, what you did wrong, what you did bad, or you criticize each other, put a quarter in the jar. 90 days. If you miss a day, you got to start all over.
Okay. We can
Because
do it.
what you need now is an awareness. You need an awareness and something that's going to make you aware of how it is that you are being with each other. And then both of you are going to have to find the tool. I'm going to give you a tool. Zakia, are you a reader? Do you read?
I would like to, but I don't have time.
No, I know you got a 10-month-old baby. You read?
Uh, I do, but
I can read.
it's like a yearly habit. I'll
Okay,
read for like a
so I don't
month.
want to give you, I don't believe in giving people tools they can't use. William, what's your vision for William? What is your vision for William?
Oof. Uh, I want to be
Okay,
successful.
don't make it up. That's your
No,
assignment. I want you to come up with a 50-word vision for what it is that you desire to create and have in your life. Because, William, a man without vision will perish. Zakia, what's your vision for Zakia? Understanding that you're a wife and a mom. Oh, no arguing. That was the other one. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. What's your vision for Zakia?
I actually don't have one because I've
Well,
been in
that's a problem.
survival mode for so long. I've just been trying to survive.
That's a problem. So that's what's happening. You're bored with life, so you're going after each other.
Mhm.
You're bored with your life. You've got to have something bigger than you pulling you forward.
Right.
So you don't get stuck in the day-to-day ho-hum habit. So, William,
yes, ma'am.
50 words.
50
What I
words.
see for my life is you write it out and you send it to me at Iyanla.fixins.com. You got 72 hours.
72 hours, 50 words,
What
explaining
I
who I
see for
am.
my life is.
Your vision.
Like,
Zakia,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to give you a little more than 72 hours. I'm going to give you 84.
Okay.
What I see for my life is.
Okay.
Because I want to see what your visions are. And then once you can start working on your visions, supporting each other in working on your vision, you have something to do besides beat up on each other
Right.
and attack each other. No whining, no complaining, no criticizing, no arguing. 90 days. If you miss a day, if you have an argument, if you criticize one another, if you criticize yourself, if you say, I can't, I don't, I'm boo, you got to start all over.
mm,
Every time you do it, put a quarter in a jar and watch how those quarters start piling up. So who's going to take $10 tomorrow and go to the bank and get a roll of quarters?
I'll do
Are
it.
you going to do that, William?
well, I got plenty of change in my car, yeah.
Okay. But every time you criticize yourself or her, put a quarter in the jar because I want you to have a visual representation of what you're doing.
Okay.
I want to see your vision and I'm going to get it back to you. I
Okay.
want to see your vision, Zakia. So 72 hours, Wednesday, Thursday. William, I need your vision by 9 p.m. Saturday night.
Send it
And
to
I don't do
info.
late.
No, no.
And
My,
Zakia, I need yours by 9 p.m. Sunday night.
Okay.
What I see for my life is.
Right.
Let's see if we can get your vision, teach you how to support each other in your vision, and then you'll stop beating up on each other. How about that?
Sounds good.
All right? No criticism starts now. Okay?
Okay, we can do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. That is a good exercise for all of you couples out there. If partners, if you as an individual don't have a vision for yourself, then you're just sitting around looking at the same thing all of the time. You're gonna start going after each other because you don't have anything else to do. Actually, you're bored. Your life is smaller than you are. So you're bored. And you've got to up level your listening of one another. That's what the no criticism, no whining, no complaining, and no arguing. Let me go to the board. I'm going to go to Juliet Wellen. Juliet Wellen. All right. My hubby and I have been married for 12 years. Yes, for the marriage. He's been under the influence the entire time. So you have not been married. You've not been married. Because they will tell you in AA, if you marry someone when you're high, the marriage doesn't start until you're no longer high. Last year, he had almost 2 years sobriety. So we started a business. He relapsed. Eyeballs. I'm stressed out and don't know what to do. Yipes. I don't know what the question is. What is the question? Are you asking me, shall you close the business? Are you asking me, do you cut the husband out of you didn't ask me a question. You just told me a story. So what I'm going to say, beloved, vote for you. Vote for you, because the issue is not here that your husband relapsed and you have debt. The issue is that you accommodated a marriage to an addict for 12 years. That's the issue. And I want to encourage you to start looking at why. Why would you accommodate an addict? Why would you put yourself into that and through that for 12 years and then go into debt to start a business? The issue here is not the business. The issue here is accommodating that level of hurt and pain and dysfunction. Don't hear me advocating that you leave your husband. Hear me advocating why the husband you see and have for yourself is an addict. That's what you have to do. Let me do one more question, then I'm going to go to my second guest. My question comes from, hi, Iyanla. This is Wandays 8, I believe. Is that what it is? Yes. Okay. Nope, we lost you. Don't know where you are. Okay. Right there, that one, my heart tells me. My heart tells me, is at the beginning, Tanya Gleason. Hi, Tanya. My heart tells me I love him deeply, but my brain is telling me to leave and find love somewhere else with someone who will value me and respect me. My husband says he will change and start doing that, but I'm very skeptical. He says it's because I'm afraid. I love him deeply. So this is what I'm reading here. That you love a man who doesn't value you or respect you. What makes you think the problem is him? You're loving a man where you are not receiving all that you need and want and desire. What makes you think the problem is him? You are in a relationship where you don't trust your partner. He said, that's a trust issue. What makes you think the problem is him? He is not the problem. The problem is the choices you will not make and resist making for yourself. So what I can say is, pick one, your brain or your heart. Your brain is telling you to leave, and your heart is saying, let me go find love where I want it. Pick one and follow it. I'm going to go to my second guest. My second guest is Lisa. Lisa Backrack, like Bert Zinkowski.
Yes.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Iyanla. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, my beloved?
I'm sorry, what?
How are you, my beloved?
Yes.
Are you good?
I'm good. I'm good
Okay.
right now, yes.
All right. So what is your question, Lisa?
Oh, it's so long-winded. I'm dealing with my son who's no longer in my house. I had to have him removed. He's addicted to pills. He's living with a woman who's older. He's denying the addiction, of course. He's on my ex-husband and my car insurance. He falls asleep driving. He's hiding the pills in a lockbox. My question is, I don't know how much more I can do outside of what I've already done, which was keep him away from the home, file a harassment report because I had to. He's using a lot of manipulation, and because he's 22, I don't know what it is I can do, if anything I can do to actually help him.
Does he want to be helped?
He won't even admit he has the addiction.
Okay, so what you have to do is vote for you. And tell me the thing that you do not want to do. What is the one thing that you do not want to do? What would that be?
Outside of going to his funeral, I
Well,
don't.
no, he's alive, so we're not talking funeral
Okay.
cancer.
Yeah, I don't want to be the one to get him locked up.
You don't want to be the one to do what?
To get him locked up.
Well, do that. How can you get him locked up? How about take his name off of your insurance so that if he gets stopped in a car with no insurance, that's his responsibility. Why would you support an addict who falls asleep behind the wheel in having insurance? If he has an accident, who is that coming back on?
Oh, it's coming back to us.
Okay, so what would happen in our efforts to get him locked up so that he can get clear about his challenge? Why would you have him on your auto insurance?
He was on it before all this happened.
What is your son an addict?
Yes.
Let me hear you own that. My son is an
My
addict.
son is an addict.
Makes me feel
Helpless.
okay. Take a breath. You an addict?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you an addict?
No, I'm not an addict.
Are you addicted to your son?
Am I addicted to my son? Hmm. That's a hard one. I don't know. I mean, I think I probably have overdone. I have 3 children. I thought I raised them all the same, but I think I've done more for him.
Okay. My son is an addict,
My son is an addict.
and that makes me feel
Helpless.
and
Heartbroken.
and
Lost.
and
A bit like a failure.
yes. Any guilt?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So my son is an addict, and that makes me feel helpless, heartbroken, guilty, like a failure. And in response to feeling that, I keep him on my car insurance. I still allow him to come in my house. I won't cut him off. I won't take a stand. I won't create clear boundaries.
Somewhat. I have created some clear boundaries. He's not allowed in my house.
He's not what?
He's not allowed in my house. I did change the locks.
Okay.
Um,
Very good, mother.
yeah, it was hard. It was very hard.
My son is an addict.
My son is an addict.
It makes me feel,
It makes me feel
come on, say the words,
lost,
lost.
hurt,
Uh-huh.
a failure,
Uh-huh.
helpless,
Yes.
fearful,
Guilty. Yeah. Fearful, guilty.
guilty,
And I changed the locks on the door,
and I changed the locks on the door.
and that makes me feel,
That makes me feel safer, but it still makes me feel guilty.
yes. Yeah. So, beloved, you're not dealing here with just your son's addiction and what more you can do. You're dealing with all of your feelings and filters about his addiction.
Yes.
And that's what you got to clear, because otherwise you'll be enabling him and you will be putting him in jeopardy. I really want to encourage you and his dad or your ex-husband, get him off the car insurance. This man should not be driving.
No.
And if he's going to drive, it should not be in your name. Because you're afraid for him to be, you afraid to be the one to get him locked up, do that first. Do that first. Support him in getting into a safe environment where he can maybe get detox, where he can maybe get some help and some support, because it just comes a time as a mother, you gotta come off the breast. I was going to say a nasty word. He's got to get off.
He's got to get off.
But what you do is clear feelings about it. Because of your feelings about it, you are not making clear, clean, conscious choices. You're responding to the emotional discomfort. Does that make sense to you?
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you in any kind of have you been to Al-Anon? Are you in therapy? Do you have a coach, a counselor, anything like that?
I did try to go to a Al-Anon meeting. I'm a yoga practitioner as well as a teacher.
Uh-huh.
And so I have that support system. I felt lost in the Al-Anon because it felt like I was listening to everybody's story, and I didn't feel that because they don't have an exchange of information. I didn't feel like I wanted to share the story because basically I already had validation when I was there that, yes, my son's an addict, and I'm just like these parents. And they weren't going to offer me, I guess, what it was I thought I needed to hear. So I felt it made me feel uneasy being there. I lost you. I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I didn't hear that. Okay.
I said it's really okay to feel uneasy and uncomfortable in the midst of your healing. That's really okay.
Okay.
But I want to encourage you to get a coach, a counselor, somebody, because you've got to clear that stuff out. God forbid something should happen to your son.
Yeah.
You can't hold it in the way you're holding it.
Okay.
Where do you live?
I live in Long Island, New York.
Okay. All right. Send me an email, Lisa, to Iyanla Fixins at Iyanla.com. Let me make a few recommendations for you, okay?
Okay, can you say that one more time for me?
Iyanla Fixins.
Fixins.
Iyanlafixins.
Okay.
At Iyanla.com. I want to make a few New York recommendations for you, okay?
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but keep, you might even want to write it out. Keep bringing up those feelings. So as you start doing the work, you can now begin to clear those feelings, the guilt, the shame, the loss, the fearful, the heartbroken, all of that, because that's what has you stuck, not the fact that he's an addict.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Thank
All right,
you.
beloved.
Thank you.
Okay, so, all right. Thank you for tuning in tonight.
Oh.
When you have a family member who is addicted, we did that on Iyanla Fix My Life last season with Shannon Wiley in Chicago, crystal meth addict, and his parents were just totally lost. They're paying his rent, they are giving him money or paying his bills while he's taking everything he's earning and going out and doing crystal meth. Hard thing to have, you have a sick child basically.
Yeah.
When your child is sick. So I really want to encourage parents, when you do have a child who has an issue and you are stuck in a place, get in touch with those feelings. Bring them up. Talk about it. Look at them. Feel them. Get to a therapist, a coach, a support group at your church. Create your own support group if you have to. But you've got to talk and you've got to move it through, because with those things in the way, you're not going to be thinking clearly. And you'll make some critical errors. But vote for you, parents, when the child is addicted. Vote for you and keep yourself safe. Let me go back to the board. Somebody says, all right, let me get a nice question here. Here we go. Anyone? Pick up question, any question? This is Tanya Johnson. Hi, Miss Iyanla. Hi, Miss Tanya. I need advice. Oh, I don't do advice. I don't do advice, but let me see where I can help you. I need advice on a situation involving me and my son. Because of his disrespect and violent behavior, I decided to relinquish custody of my 17-year-old son. Good for you. Good for you. I feel it's what I need to do to protect myself and my other children. Is this the right approach? So let me ask you, Miss Tanya, is it right for you as a mother to protect yourself and your other children from violence and disrespect? Is that right? Okay, then you did the right thing. That doesn't mean you abandon, relinquish, reject him, but it means that you have to vote for you, protect your household, set clear boundaries. Listen, folks, sometimes when you have to set a boundary, I don't mean a wall, a boundary, saying, no, this is not acceptable. No, I will not accommodate this. No, I will not tolerate that. Sometimes that looks very ugly. And it looks like you're casting people off or abandoning people or rejecting people. No, you're taking care of you. A 17-year-old, see, I come from the school where 17-year-olds don't even allow themselves to have the thought of putting their hand on their mama or disrespecting her, because they know that in the process of thinking it, some flying object will come across the room and they would have no teeth. So it's either be respectful or be toothless. That's the school I come from. I don't advocate violence. I said a flying object. I didn't say where it was going to come from or who was going to propel it. But 17-year-olds in my presence know. Hand on mother, cuss to mother, disrespect mother, not going to happen. Not happening. So yes, I believe you did the right thing. Let me get to my last guest before we have to go for the night. This is Tiffany Gregory. Tiffany Gregory is with me. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, Iyanla.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Good, I sure can. What's your question, Tiffany?
So, growing up, at the age of 17, were 3 attempts for a family member to sexually assault me.
Say it again.
I said, growing up, at the age of 17, there were 3 attempts for a family member to sexually assault me. And I think that this is because I have no trust. I spent 15 years in a relationship.
Hold on 1 second, beloved, because I'm not hearing you. I'm getting every other word.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what that is, but I don't want you to say all of that and then I'm not getting it. So tell me what your question is.
My question is, how is it that I can go about rehabilitating myself to the point where I can trust enough
Okay, wait a minute.
to have a sexual relationship?
Okay, you got to keep still, baby, because every time you move, I lose a word.
Can you hear me?
I'm hearing every other word. Okay, try it again.
If this works. Let me try this. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, duh. I gave you one of the things and put it in my ear, too. Go ahead. So what's your question?
My question is, from the age of 17, there were attempts by a family member to sexually assault me.
What
It was
does
a male
that mean?
family.
Attempts by a family member. What does that mean?
I would wake up and he'd be standing in front of me trying to kiss me. There was a time where I literally had my back against my bedroom door and my feet against the box spring of my bed to keep him from out of my room. And
Okay.
this is at the age of 34. Um, so being that the case, I have no trust. I spent 13 years in a relationship with a man that I have 3 children with. That was a very bad relationship because I didn't want anyone else around my children. And I finally got out of that relationship, but now I'm to a point to where I'm a single mother, taking care of my kids by myself, trying to go through nursing school. But to be honest, I don't feel as though I can be in a successful relationship right now because I don't know how to trust that we'll be okay. Me and my children will be okay. How
Okay.
do I go about
Let
rehabbing
me see
myself
if
to make that happen?
let me see if I hear you correctly. I just want to make sure I'm hearing what you say. You
Mm-hmm.
say that from the age of 17, I don't know until what age, a family member attempted to sexually molest you. Is that accurate?
Yes,
Okay. Did it ever happen?
it did not.
Okay.
Um,
But there were attempts made.
it did.
Were there other adults in the house who could have stopped it?
At the time, no.
Okay.
Um, Even as an adult, it started the first time I was 17, the second time I was 28, and the last time I was 34.
Well, see, at the 28, it's called a bat upside your head. That's at
Yeah,
28. Now,
yeah.
17, that's different. I am just speaking so violently tonight. I need to go take a self-defense class. Bats, pots, flying teeth. Anyway,
And to be
don't make,
honest,
I don't make
given
light
the
of
person
these
that it
situations
was,
at all.
no, I understand. And given
Okay.
the person that it was, for some reason, I always revert back to feeling like a child when this
Yes,
is
being a
happening
child.
to me.
So I
I
have
do.
3 words for you. I'm gonna give you 3 remedies. Number 1, Wonder Woman weekend in October. You got to
Hmm.
come to my Wonder Woman weekend. You just do. But we'll talk more about that later.
Okay.
The second remedy for you: why, in the midst of law school and raising 3 children, are you even trying to think about a relationship?
I think I'm at a point where I'm just kind of, I've done it by myself for so long. Even during the course of that relationship with their dad, I still did it alone. And I think I'm just kind of tired of doing everything alone.
So get a housekeeper. Because you're not getting a man or a partner in a relationship, an intimate, loving relationship. You don't want to go for a partner because you're tired of doing it alone. You want to go for a partner because you are a powerful, beautiful, sensual, sexual woman, and you want to share the fullness of with that.
That's
Because you're
correct.
tired of doing it alone.
Yes.
The wrong reason to go into a relationship. He will be gone. So I want to offer you that take the time to heal yourself up, be it forgiveness, be it moving through healing inner child, be it really getting yourself grounded, but complete law school. Work with your kids. How old are your children?
Um, I have a 20-year-old, an 11-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 4-year-old.
Wow. Okay. So you got your hands full.
Yes.
You need a housekeeper. You need a wife. Because you're You need a wife. You don't have to sleep with her. Just have somebody to cook and clean and rub your feet when you come home. Why don't you put that on Craigslist? Okay. A wife. You need a wife. But beloved,
Yes.
I really want to encourage you to do some healing work before you even attempt to look for a relationship. Yes,
Yes.
you have some trust stuff to heal. Yes, you have some forgiveness work to do. You got some betrayal stuff in there, but you're repeating the pathology because there was no one who could rescue you when you had your feet on the box spring and your back against the door. You're still looking to be rescued. And that's not a good reason to go into a relationship. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. But right now, beloved, you're in nursing school. You've got 4 kids. Look at me. Can you see me? Look right down in my
Yes,
eyes,
ma'am.
and I want you to hear this. If you made it through the past, you passed. You passed. And you didn't have to get an A. A B, a C, a D is acceptable. If you made it through the past, you passed. Stop beating yourself up about what happened back then. Let's heal it up. Let's celebrate. What are you wearing to graduation? When do you get out of nursing school?
2016 is my graduation, June 2016.
What are you wearing?
I have no idea.
Well, you better start looking for it. Okay? Let's hold that vision. Let's let that vision pull us forward. Let you take the forgiveness e-course with me in September, or come to the Wonder Woman workshop, and let's start healing you up. And baby, you're going to be so fine. You're going to meet one of the a neurosurgeon in the parking lot of the hospital. You're going to work in. But you don't need nobody right now. How about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. Wow. Yeah, we want to heal ourselves up before we go infecting other people with our wounds. If you know your wound, just by yourself. Do your work.
Yep.
Stay by yourself. Everybody. I'm not just talking to my last guest. We want to really be healed up. We want to really be whole. We want to really clear out those feelings and that those memories and that trauma. September, I'm doing forgiveness. 6 weeks. 6 weeks. I want you to join me in September. You can sit right there, braless, eating peanuts in your home. It's all online. Okay?
Yes,
Go to
ma'am.
Oprah.com and you're going to learn about that. Wonder Woman weekend is in October. This is a weekend where women come from all over the world and we work together to heal up some of those things. Yeah. I also
Yes,
want
ma'am.
to invite you all to join me. This year is my 25th anniversary in ministry doing this work. I'm going to have an incredible weekend, workshops, panels, a fashion show, dinner. You know we're going to have food, right? We're going to have all of that right in Washington, D.C. So be on the lookout. I always say listen for the drum to hear more information about that. But what I want to encourage you all to do, I will answer your questions. I'll be here next week. We'll talk about what we talk about. But beloved, you must do your work. You have to make the time, take the time to do your work, your prayer work, your journaling work, your meditation. I'm talking to you about tapping. I'm going to start teaching people how to tap. My last guest, you need to know how to tap. You need to know how to tap. All of these feelings, this pain, this sadness, this sorrow, moving in and out of your body, moving it through your body. It's all energy. Nothing is happening to you right now. Nobody is chasing you, beating you, abandoning you, abusing you, rejecting you right now. But the memory of it, it's still in your body. And we can move that energy out. Energy can't be destroyed, but it can be altered. And that's what we want to start doing. Your writing work, your prayer work, your journal work, the music you listen to, the books that you read. This is what we have to do so that we can heal ourselves up to become more attractive to each other, more attractive in life. Yeah, I'm gonna take one more question before we go. Let me find a real easy one, quick one. No, we can't do the marriage. I am I am too hearing every other word. She put the little thing in her ear. Who knew? Who knew you need to have a little thing in your ear? All right. Y'all, the questions are too okay here. I find it a bit funny when someone has to repeat their question and it's already a challenge to say it. Well, I don't think that's funny. Well, thank you anyway, Janelle. I hear what you're saying. But you know what? It isn't a challenge to say it. We've never had a forum. Where can you go and ask people your questions? You can get it out. We do it all the time. We talk about our problems, our questions. We say it. It's not a challenge to say it, but where do you say it? And how can you get support for being in it and sitting in it? Well, I know we've just been having so much fun, right? But we are so out of time. We're coming to the end. Let me make just a few announcements again. Iyanla Fix My Life, Saturday night, 9 p.m. I know it's hot outside, but you don't have to just go home at 9 o'clock because I'm on the television. And you're supposed to be watching me or set your DVR. Okay, Iyanla Fix My Life, 9 p.m. on the Oprah Winfrey Network on OWN. Next week, we're going to be right here on the Google Hangout again next week. And I believe our topic next week is going to be family. It's going to be family stuff. We've got a family coming up, not this week, but on the following week on Iyanla Fix My Life. So I want to hear you there. Send me your questions about family conflict, family drama, family upheaval to Iyanla, no S, Fixins at Iyanla.com. Send me your questions to Iyanla Fixin at Iyanla.com. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get your notice Fixin, so we don't have to send it all out. And if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll also get your daily dose. So just a quick little 30-second, 45-second, 1-minute message that you can thrive on every day. I also want to invite you to masterpiecebodywash.com. Go there, get some African black soap infused with herbs and oils to help you clear your energy. This week I am recommending purification and energize. So go to masterpiecebodywash.com and just take a look at it. If it works for you, good. All righty. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be here next week and we will be on time. We'll get all of those technical things worked out. Stay in peace, not pieces. Mwah.